Rumor has it that the 21st century Hercules was born without a gift, so he bought it from a dealer and became a part of the legend. From Coleman to Valentino, here are the 7 legendary bodybuilders who could not resist their addiction to roids and hence fell into the vicious cycle of constant gym candy cravings. Number 7 on this list is Ronnie Coleman. A whopping 8 times Mr. Olympia winner, Ronnie Coleman has most popularly been admired for his dominant physique and ready-to-eat the opponent's attitude. The former IFBB bodybuilder, also known as the King, recently revealed and owned his steroid intake at the age of 30 after being clean for 6 years on the podcast Joe Rogan Experience in June 2020. On this podcast, Coleman got candid about being tired of getting his ass kicked in competitions and shared how he started roid intake to level up his game.
Well, I'd imagine you would have to take something to be as big as you were when you were at your
peak.
For
sure.
It's not really possible to be that big without it.
Without it, no. You can't get that big. Another thing you gotta have too is genetics.
The horrific and organ-melting inside effects of roids never crossed his path. Ronnie's body exhibited exceptional resistance, which is uncommon and noteworthy. However, the champ himself later confessed how dangerous the addiction is and would never recommend it to anyone. Next on the list at number 6 is Jay Cutler. Some of Cutler's exclusive interviews reveal that this 4-time Mr. Olympia winner has been pretty vocal about his steroid consumption. The bodybuilder is one of the very few to openly discuss this subject and went ahead to bust some myths about the amount of PEDs he's been using. Jay began discussing how the continuity of competition is nothing less than a rigmarole and the performance-enhancing drugs have done nothing but good to him. While this stacked legend isn't consuming his magic potions now, he explained in a recent interview that he is on a real HRT, or hormone replacement therapy.
As we get deeper into conversation about it, I don't really regret anything. I thought that was the right age for me to start. I was more focused on, okay, this is the turning point in my life. This is really what I want to do. I started pursuing, like, what my passion I learned was weightlifting.
Good for him, but the real question is, are these bodybuilders really legends when all they do is hoard stackers in their bodies? Let us know in the comment section below. Move forward, 5th on the list is Rich Piana. As unfair and exaggerated as it seems, modern-day bodybuilding is all about them stackers. One such roid worshipper was Rich Piana, the National Physique Committee Mr. Teen California title winner in 1989. Piana was high on roids and considered them as his cheat code to success. Piana found the pros of steroid consumption lucrative as the results were astronomical within the first few days. However, it's sad to say that he paid the price for the baits with his life. But that's not it. Our champ also was a case of extreme roid rage, which resulted in a strained relationship with his wife.
There's a huge difference in me when I'm on a cycle or off a cycle. And any girlfriend I've ever been with, will attest to that and say there's a huge difference, and I'm a lot less patient, and I snap, and I can become angry really quick over nothing.
Unfortunately, this bodybuilding icon died in 2017 at the premature age of 47 due to a steroid overdose with an anomalous expansion of his heart during the time of his death. On number 4, we have Branch Warren. A 58-inch chest size? Achieved naturally? Nope, absolutely not. High on juices? Hell yeah. Well, apparently, Branch Warren is one of the top bodybuilders of our time with some of the highest masculine titles in the history of commercial bodybuilding. A role model to many, Warren has addictively used body enhancers to achieve this unrealistic Hulk-sized body ever since he stepped into the world of competitive bodybuilding as a teenager. Branch supposedly used fairly big amounts of Dianabol, followed by an unhealthy intake of testosterone-based roids. Retired 7 years ago, but if you look closely through his social media, you'll realize that the legend is still high on roids and not giving up anytime soon. Moving to number 3, we have Dorian Yates. Yates is one of the very few legendary bodybuilders to be brutally honest about his anabolic steroid consumption. A 6-time Mr. Olympia winner, Yates has also received the title of being a shadow since he was the most mysterious bodybuilder in the modern competitive market. But the good news for his fans is, Yates recently appeared in an interview to clarify his stance on roids consumption and a lot more. Surprisingly, after 12 years of consistent roid usage, he has nothing to comment on the ill effects of this addiction. Yates blatantly showed the sides of his controversial coin and said it depends on the owner of the coin whether he wants a head or a tail.
This is part of the game, right? And if you're going to compete without steroids, you're going to be at a great disadvantage. Not impossible, maybe, if you're genetically much more gifted than the other guys.
He went ahead to elaborate on how the rage heightens after a period of consumption, but this aggression should be used in the gym to build muscles and not to beat some dude in the club or engage in domestic abuse. Guys, take notes, the man is spilling facts. On number 2, we have Greg Valentino, a Guinness World Book record winner for the biggest arm size in the world. Greg Valentino is the winner of several titles and, contrastingly, several controversies. With the rumored name of the most hated man in the bodybuilding world, Valentino has mainly been hated for his insane amount of synthol consumption, which he constantly denies and thinks of his opponents as nothing more than some jealous competitors who can never match his game. On being asked, he confessed to being a victim of Napoleon complex, and just because he could not grow any taller, he decided to be the biggest freak of the game, which surely he did, but it came with consequences.
You know, show me some stuff, I would show him exercises, you know, and then 6 months later I see them walking in the gym like f***ing Big Rammy, and I'm like, whoa, what the f*** happening? And it's, you know, because they were taking shit. So now I felt like I earned it.
In 2001, he was arrested for steroid dealing and his wife of 10 years left him. But that's not it. He later found multiple tumors in his liver and came face to face with his death. The big boy finally grew some brains and decided to quit steroids. Last but not least, we have the OG, Arnold Schwarzenegger. The man who became Mr. Olympia 6 times in a row, Arnold is bound to no introduction. He is the myth, the man, the inspiration. As much as we like to hail his domineering appearance, we have to throw some light on his steroid consumption with absolutely no regrets. Schwarzenegger talked about his calculated intake of steroids with the prescription of a doctor to enhance his body and to lead the game of size. He continued to talk about having no regrets because he never transgressed his body and kept the balance.
We talked about it very openly. I mean, anyone that was asked, is you take steroids? Yeah, I take 3 Dianabol a day, or someone else would say, I would take this, and that. It was just in the beginning stage because bodybuilders in those days just experimented with it, but it was not illegal.
Fair enough, Arnold, but is it really? What do you think? Is roid consumption validated if it's causing no immediate harm? Or is it unacceptable and deceiving in each case? Let us know in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till then, may you become a gym candy instead of consuming one.